Hey everybody, David here, back with another video. And today we are going to be doing part 2 of my Holy Grail Fragrances. So, thinking back to that first video, if you have watched that, if you have not, make sure to go watch it. I mentioned something about having my hands full, okay? So the first 6 were on this side, now the second 6 are going to be on this side, so if I ever have an emergency in my house, like a house fire or anything like that, I'm going to be ready to go and get out of the house. And then I could still smell good, okay? So these would be the 12 that I would be taking with me if something did happen to my house, all right? Also, too, I kind of cheated with this video a little bit, so don't get mad at me in the comments, all right? Don't be going crazy on the keyboard at me. But I included 2 honorable mention fragrances in here just because I really enjoy them, and I been really feeling them lately too, and one of them brings back really good memories. Also too, there's 2 fragrances in the list that are kind of placeholders. I'm going to mention a few other ones that I really enjoy from the house that I didn't want to include on here because either A, they're discontinued, or B, I couldn't make up my mind, okay? Give me some slack, all right? If you catch me on a different day, this list might change. But I really want to give some mentions to some other fragrances from the house because I really enjoy them. Now, if you enjoy this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button on it. Greatly appreciate your support. And if you have not yet, make sure to hit that subscription button so you do not miss out on any of the videos I post on my channel. Also, if you're trying to improve your health and your wellness, or you're an athlete, make sure to check out my fitness videos after this video is done. Now, let's hop into part 2 of my Holy Grail Fragrances. Oh, you startled me there. Hey, David here. And I am in the future, as you can tell. Got a different set of clothes on. And I wanted to hop on here and let everybody know on the channel, I just hit 50 subscribers on YouTube. So I wanted to thank my community. I want to thank you all. Thank you for all the likes, comments, subscriptions on my channel. Without you all, I probably wouldn't be doing as much content as I am. I try to at least upload 2 videos for you all, 1 fitness and 1 fragrance. And no matter which video you watched, I greatly appreciate your support and your recommendations. I have a lot of things coming down the pipeline for both my fragrance videos and my exercise videos, so hopefully you all stay tuned for that. Keeping that bell icon on so you know when I post these videos on my channel, and hopefully you all keep enjoying the content. By the end of the year, my goal is to at least maybe get 100 to 200 subscribers on YouTube, and we're going to keep pushing out the content for y'all. I'm going to stay consistent, at least post 2 videos a week for y'all, 1 fragrance, 1 fitness, like I've said. And I have a lot of great ideas. I want to improve the videos as well with my editor, Steven. I greatly appreciate all your help as well. He's a big help for me. I make the thumbnails, I do everything else, but Steven does the editing, so I greatly appreciate his support, and hopefully me and him can keep pushing the channel in the right direction and keep improving each video for you all. And I can upgrade the videos as well, like get a mic, get better lighting. But I wanted to come on here and just send you all a little message, a little thank you message. Hopefully we can keep going. I really enjoy this community, and without all of your feedback and help, the channel wouldn't be where it is today so far, and hopefully we can keep growing and growing like I mentioned before. And I made this channel at first to get all my ideas from grad school down, which I'll be graduating in late July. And then also my love for fragrances and my collection. I wanted to show you all how many fragrances are out there. Designer realm, niche realm. I don't really have that many clones, but I do have a few clones. Maybe I'll include in future videos. And hopefully you all learn something. That's my passion. I really want to teach people how to do things better. Like with exercising, how to do an exercise better, or with fragrance, how to smell good, how to smell better, how to smell confident so you're on your A game. Again, just wanted to thank you all for the love and support that you give the channel, and hopefully I can keep boosting and keep up with your expectations And thank you again, Steven, for editing the videos. You're such a big help. Hopefully you can keep grinding and road to 100 or 200 followers. All right, back to your video. So, let's start out with the honorable mentions, okay? First one, and also too, before I start this list, I tried to spice things up with this. So what I mean by that is, I try to include some fresher fragrances and some deeper fragrances, so for all occasions. So if any of you guys are interested in checking out these, I have a wide variety. And I also tried to include on this list too, ones I haven't really talked about on the channel much, but that are in my collection and I wanted to show some love to. So, the first honorable mention we're going to be talking about today. Very unique scent in the designer realm. It is no other than Aqua Pour Homme from Bulgari. This is a weird bottle too. Kind of takes up a lot of space in my collection. I had to lay it flat. It's kind of a unique bottle though. And the thing with this fragrance, this is like the only one I'm pretty sure you can get with regularity here in the US. Aquamarine, that's another flanker to this. I have a funny story about that one too. I actually got that fragrance stolen at the gym I was at. I forgot my bag and I got the fragrance stolen, but don't worry, I got a new one because I really enjoy that fragrance too. But the OG, it brings back memories to me as when I was younger. This was one of the first fragrances I picked up before I even knew there was like fragrances communities and all that jazz. So the first three fragrances after the Lacoste fragrances I got were Y, the Eau de Toilette, Dior Sauvage, the Eau de Toilette, and then this one too. So these three were kind of my branching out points to fragrances after all the Lacoste fragrances, kind of what I mentioned before. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because we have a lot to run through, but here's the bottle again because I have to lay it flat. Can't lay it up like that because it'll fall. So we're going to put that one over there. I'm going to go through the notes real quick on this and explain a little bit, and then I'm going to go to the next one. And a lot of the flankers with this is discontinued. I guess they've kind of abandoned this line at Bulgari, but hopefully maybe we can get something new here soon in that line because I really enjoy it. So top notes, Mandarin Orange, Petitgrain. Heart notes, Neptune Grass. And then in the base, you got Mineral Amber and Clary Sage. And I'll be honest, that Neptune Grass, that's going to be more of a seaweed feel, okay? This is more of a fragrance that if you were standing on a beach, like a saltwater beach or something like that, you'd be standing in the water and you can kind of get the smells, the whiffs, and that's what this is going to be. It's not going to be one where you feel like standing on a dock. This is going to be the one where you're actually close to the water or in the water and you get that smell. It's kind of, it's unique in the designer realm for sure for a freshie. So, Bulgari Aqua Pour Homme, honorable mention. I have really good memories, like I said, when I was younger too. One of my dad's friends with this fragrance, he used to rock this. This used to be his signature scent, and every time I see that, I always think about him too when he'd always come over to the house and everything. So, Bulgari Aqua Pour Homme, great fragrance. Can't wear it in the spring and summertime this year for sure. Next, honorable mention. Now this one is an old fragrance, but 1993 it was made, but it's a timeless classic to me, and it is no other than Platinum Egoist. I mentioned this one before. This is a very well done fragrance by Chanel. More of an office scent or a daytime scent for sure. It's got an herbal feel to it too. It's smooth too. It's a green. It's kind of a fougere as well. Very well rounded on this fragrance for sure. Platinum Egoist here. I'm gonna go for the notes a little bit. And like I said, timeless classic, and I never get tired of smelling that one. Lavender, neroli, petitgrain, and rosemary at the top. The heart, you got clary sage, geranium, gabardine, and jasmine. And then the base, you got cedar, oak moss, sandalwood, and vetiver and amber. That vetiver is going to give it that green feel. Those woods, the oak moss, the neroli, and the lavender is going to give it more of that fresh feel. And going back to that oak moss, vetiver, sandalwood, it's going to give it more of that fougere, woody feel as well. And with the vetiver, it's going to be a little green with the rosemary as well in this. But Platinum Egoist, very good fragrance, okay? Very good fragrance. Had to include it on the list. Had to squeeze it in some shape or form on this list. So, Platinum Egoist, Bulgari, Aqua Pour Homme, on the outside looking in, but hey, they're very good fragrances. First one on the actual list now. Now this one is a love for me. I didn't want to include two fragrances from the same house, but I just like Dior so much. I like all their fragrances. I can't wait to check out Eau Sauvage. I've heard things about it. It's got an old school feel, kind of going along with the Chanel Platinum Iguaise kind of feel, but this is not very old school. Like I said, it's a timeless classic. But I've heard with those Eau Sauvages, I really want to get my nose on them. I heard they're kind of old school, but some of them are more modern. Like there's one that's out that's more modern. I can't remember which one. But this is the fragrance that was the first fragrance when I hopped back into collecting. When I got recommended this from one of the YouTube channel, I really watch Ash from Jensen's. He was the one that recommended this, and it is no other than Fahrenheit Parfum. And this one's a stunner. If you smelled the OG, it's got that petrol smell to it. This one's got it reined back, focused more on the vanilla for sure. This is usually my go-to date night scent, I will say, when I do go on dates. But I really enjoy this. I have so many backup bottles of this stuff. It's very hard to get in the U.S., so I kind of feel bad for you all. I don't want to include stuff always in my list that are hard to get or discontinued, but I had to include this because this is my Grail list for sure. This one's a stunner, 10 out of 10 fragrance for me, and I really enjoy wearing it. More of a fall and wintertime scent for sure. Good projection, good longevity on it. Let's hop into notes of this fragrance right here. So you got lavender, pink pepper, mandarin orange, and lemon. That lemon and mandarin orange up on the top is going to give it a little fresher feel, kind of. And that pink pepper is going to get a little spicy up top. And then the heart notes, you got that leather and violet leaf. They kind of equal each other out. The violet leaf is going to be that petrol kind of smell, but it's in a good way. But like I said, this one's reined back, so you don't really smell it much. That leather kind of cuts through it, then helps it out to be even with this. And then also in the base, here comes that bourbon vanilla absolute, benzoin, birch, amber, gaiac wood, patchouli, cedarwood, and vetiver. As you can tell, very woody fragrance. This has got some oriental touches in it as well, going along with that spiciness from the pink pepper and the leather and the violet leaf mixing together with that bourbon vanilla, give it a little sweetness to kind of equal out that petrol smell to make it more of it's kind of a rugged fragrance. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that because the leather, but it's not an easy to wear. I guess the best way I could say this is it's not a rough leather, okay? It's not something that's going to be put off and you're not going to be able wanting to wear it. This one is an appealing leather for sure. It's there to equal out that violet leaf so it's not too on the petrol end like the eau de toilette, all right? And this sweetness in here is very nicely done. It's very equaled out to shape the fragrance basically. So Fahrenheit Parfum, cannot recommend it enough. I will say if you like an old school feel to your fragrances, this would be a fragrance for you for sure. Same with the Platinum Iguaise. These two might be a little bit not for the younger crowd, so just a little heads up on that. More mature fragrances here. Next one, I cannot wait to get more fragrances from this house, okay? This one I really enjoy for the summer and springtime. I haven't worn it in the wintertime. I'm always a big fan of wearing some fresher fragrances in the wintertime to see how they react on the skin, in the air. This one, I cannot wait to get more fragrances from the house, and hopefully I can pick up a few this year, even though these new releases are coming out. And this is no other than Louis Vuitton Imagination. Excuse me, Louis Vuitton. I apologize. Sometimes I mispronounce. Don't attack me, okay? I try my best. But this one, I don't even need to spray this one. I could smell it from the atomizer here. That's how strong this thing is. And also, this thing gets bonus points, all right? Magnetic cap there. My cap's kind of messed up. But that magnetic cap is very nicely done. Imagination. This stuff is crazy good. 10 out of 10 for a fresher fragrance for me. I have no complaints with this Imagination fragrance. I will say I cannot wait to pick up Pacific Chill and Ombre Nomad from the house. Those are the two I'm really looking forward. They actually have 2 new releases coming out too. I'll have to look into that. But let's hop into notes. Imagination. It uses a black tea note. Chinese black tea uses that, very unique. You don't really see that being used much. They want to say this is a designer house, which it is a designer house, but this has got niche quality, okay? For the price, especially what Louis Vuittons go for, I would highly expect the quality and the performance. Everything needs to be on point with these fragrances, in my opinion, because how much they cost. Overall, I don't really say you know, I hate to give out the 10 out of 10s, but even for the price, this one's justified, okay? When I sprayed on Ombre Nomad, that one's justified for the price. I know you're probably thinking I'm crazy, but hey, I'm a frag head, so what do you expect? So going back to the notes, you got Chinese black tea, you got bergamot, you got ambrock, you got cinnamon, ginger, cedar, and then you got neroli. And that black tea mixing with the bergamot, the neroli, and the cedar, it's going to give it a little fresh, citrus, and aquatic feel. This one's also a green fragrance too. I think the green is coming a little bit from the cedar and the ginger in this, and then a little bit of the bergamot. It's going to have a little bit of spiciness in it as well, okay? So it leans more on the fresh, citrus, and aquatic side, and the green, a little bit less spicy in this. So this is going to be, like I said, your fragrance that's going to be good in the spring and summertime for sure. Overall, it's going to be turning some heads. Imagination for Louis Vuitton. That's all I got to say about it. So we're going to move on to the next one. This one is... This is a flanker of one of the best fragrances. Not the best fragrance, I should say the most sold fragrance ever. And it is no other than Acqua di Gio Profondo. Now they got a new one. That came out, the 2024 version of this. I haven't got my nose onto this. This is the old bottle. They are coming out with a parfum. That is one of the new fragrance releases I'm really looking forward to this year. But this one is probably my second or third favorite. My first favorite in this line is Profondo Light. So the flanker of this that's discontinued, that was my favorite. I really enjoyed the one that came out last year too, that took over for Perfumo. That one is very nicely done. They're redoing this line. It's kind of weird how they're doing it, but it is what it is. But I cannot wait for the parfum version of this. And the OG, it's a timeless classic for sure. This one's a greener take on that Acqua di Gio DNA. So, and this one was one of the houses I was talking about that I really enjoy all the Acqua di Gios. They're nothing crazy, nothing mind-blowing, so if you're looking for something unique, look somewhere else. But these are very appealing and very easy to wear. And in the summer and springtime, I would always turn somebody to some form, shape, or form of Acqua di Gio. I like all of them per se, but I had to choose one for this Holy Grail version, so I went with Profondo for sure. And then, so in the top notes in this, you got bergamot and you got that Brazilian green mandarin orange. And I'll tell you, that green mandarin orange is just so nicely done in Profondo for sure. And then you got in the heart notes, you got Mastic Absolute, Cypress, Lavender, and Rosemary. And in the base, you got Mineral, Amber, Musk, and then you got Patchouli. So the chords in this, kind of going off the notes, you get that aquatic, you get the fresh, you get the citrus. It's a little synthetic for sure, and spicy. There's some green aspects to this one as well, going along with the cypress, the rosemary, and the patchouli in it. And then you're going to get that freshness up on the top with the citrus with that green mandarin orange. You're not really going to get much of that bergamot. You're going to get more of that green mandarin orange. You're going to get that lavender in the middle too. And this is more, it's not like the Bulgari Pour Homme. This is more of like, if you were kind of far away from the beach, you would get that feel of that aquaticness. So it's not like you're in the water. This one would be kind of like further away, getting the smells in the wind, per se. That's the best way I can describe it. But Acqua di Gio Profondo, cannot wait for the new release, the Parfum version this year. But that is on the Holy Grail list here for today. Now, next one, I'm really getting more into this house. I'm starting to add more to my collection. I just made a video for my flavor of the month. Go check that out over Vetiver Essential, so you know what fragrance I'm talking about. And this is no other than Mancera's Intense Cedrat Boisé. Sorry if I butcher that again. This one is going to be a year-round stunner for sure. I don't have the OG version in my collection of this one. And bonus points again for the magnetic cap. There we go. These are strong magnetic caps, holding it from the top here. But this one, all year-round use. A lot of people say it's got an Aventus feel to it, which I can see where it's coming from, but it's in the same family, but it's not the same. The performance is way better, or the best, I should say, from what I've heard. Like I said, I can't really judge because I haven't tried the OG, but I heard this one from recommendations is the one you should get over the OG because it makes improvements on it, which is sometimes very hard with fragrances. So Intense Cedrat Boisé, let's hop into this. on the notes. So you got Sicilian citrus fruits, spices, blackcurrant up top, and that blackcurrant's going to be tying into the Ventus a little bit. The heart notes is Indian sandalwood. You got leathery notes. You got oud in there. You can't really smell the oud in this fragrance, so don't worry about that. Patchouli, jasmine, and in the base you got ambergris, which is going to tie it again with a Ventus. Oak moss, vanilla, and white musk. I don't really get that vanilla much in here. The thing I'm going to get a lot is those citrus notes, the woody notes. I'm going to get a lot of freshness with this too. And then maybe as the fragrance dries down here, I'm going to get a lot of those sweeter notes coming out. So maybe like the vanilla, like I said, you don't smell it much, but you're going to start getting it a little bit. And then that black currant might make it a little sweet too, but not like super sweet, not like overindulgent. If anything, this is going to be more of your jack of all trades fragrance, so it's going to be made to wear in any occasion, any time in the day. It's going to to my nose, this one's got more of a citrus and woody and fresh feel to it, less sweet and fruity feel. So just a little heads up with that. And I don't really get much leather in here as well. So Intense to Direct Blasé, had to get a Mancera on here. I'm really deep diving into the house. And from one of the recommendations on my last video, I'm gonna pick up Silver Blue here soon, so check that one out. From one of the comments in my last video over the flavor of the month. Got two more with you. So this is the other house that I want to mention that I really enjoy ones, but I haven't really talked about this much. I made a video way back when over, I think it was my second flavor of the month, and it was over Altair from Parfums de Marly. And this one is their most popular fragrance, I would say. I got the small bottle, and it is Leighton. Really nice cap to these. They got a metal cap. Kind of hard to take off from time to time. But man, this is a stunner for sure. Really good fragrance here. I drift between Leighton Exclusive and the OG Leighton from time to time. And I will say, I might get a lot of flack for this, but I really enjoy Percival. I really enjoy Greenlee. I really enjoy Sedley. And I usually like the cold fragrances more from Parfums de Marly. Like I like Altair, I like Hautaine, I like this one. I cannot wait till they come out with Perseus. I need to buy that one. That's my number one fragrance. I can't wait to get into the collection for the new releases in 2024. I have to get a bottle of it here soon. I shouldn't say have. I should say I really want to get a bottle of it here soon. That's going to be, from what I heard, it's on the fresher side of things. So it's in the so it's going to be in the not the deeper fragrances. All right, but it was really hard to choose for me between Leighton, Hautaine, Percival, Greenlee, all those, but I will say Leighton and Leighton Exclusive and Ojan. I cannot forget Ojan, and that is a stunner as well. But I can go on and on about Parfums de Marly. Wanted to touch on Leighton because this will be a good going out scent. I will say, like a little bit of a clubbing scent. You could also wear this to date nights too. Very good in the fall and the winter time. Let's get into notes of Leighton. So you got apple. I smell the apple from the atomizer. You get lavender. I smell that from the atomizer. You get bergamot, mandarin orange. Heart, you get geranium, jasmine, and violet. And in the base, you get vanilla, cardamom, gaiac wood, sandalwood, patchouli, and pink pepper. And I will say, the violet leaf is a little bit similar to the Fahrenheit in here, but it's not prominent in this, so you don't have to worry about it. This one, it's got some accords of a sweet, which is it is sweet for sure. Spicy, it is spicy, and that spiciness goes along with the oriental feel in this fragrance for sure. You got woods as it dries down, and that oriental feel is very nice, very enjoyable. And I will say these fragrances aren't similar at all, but they kind of do the oriental feel in the same way, if that kind of makes sense to you. They're not in the same family, not even close to what they are, but that oriental feel in both of these is similar in that aspect. But this one's going to be more sweet for sure, 100%. It's got a different feel to it, more usability with this compared to this, I will say. So, and then last but not least, this was a fragrance that I was going back and forth with. I was trying to decide which one I wanted to do because I really like their summer offering, but as you can tell, I got a lot of freshies on here, so I wanted to go with something deep. And this is no other than Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir. Yes, I had to get an elixir on here. I had the elixir in the last one, so I had to put this one on here. The gold bottle, very nice pull tab right here. The other one I was going to go with was Le Beau Intense, but I had to go with this Le Beau. That's a very unique coconut scent for a designer. You don't really see coconut being used. Not really a sunscreen in those, but we're not talking about Le Beau today. Barely missed out. I could have included it to the honorable mention, but didn't want to. Want to talk about this beast that came out last year. Very nicely done fragrance. This one, even though it doesn't list honey as an official note, this is a sweet gourmand here, okay? This one is going to be one that's kind of similar use to Layton when you would be using this. Overall, it blew me away. So what I mean by that is they had Le Male Le Parfum, and this one was an improvement. I didn't think they were going to improve over that, and Jean-Paul Gaultier just keeps surprising. I will say Paradise Garden, probably my favorite scent I've smelled out of all the new ones this year, and this one is just has all you want for a winter fragrance. Has that projection, has that performance, it smells darn good, okay? So let's put that right there. The bottle's nice, gold. I really like this bottle too. The gold torso with some stripes on it. Upgraded his fashion with this little pull tab here. So the Le Male Elixir, you got tonka bean, benzoin, lavender, bergamot, cinnamon, cardamom, patchouli, and spearmint. The spearmint's going to tie it back to the OG Le Male. You get that kind of in the opening, I will say, tying it back. This one's got like a honey and tobacco feel to it too, and you don't really see that honey and tobacco in here. To my nose, I kind of get that a little bit, and it might be from the cinnamon and the tonka bean mixing. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't be too particularly sure. That benzoin and lavender, I get a lot of the lavender in there. Don't really get much of the benzoin. The bergamot, as you can tell, a lot of fragrances use bergamot to give it a little fresh touch up at the top usually. The bergamot's usually used in the top note for sure. But this one's going to be a sweet gourmand. A little bit more on that sweeter side. I don't really get much of that gourmand, but that's where that honey feel comes in, and a little bit of tobacco feel with this. I do get the powdery feel with that lavender. It's going to come out, make it a little bit more powdery. And then the spice is going to come from that cinnamon. And that patchouli is going to help it out, kind of, last a little while for you, for sure. But Quentin Bish, he's the one that made this, and he's the one that made Paradise Garden. He's hitting all those cylinders with JPG for sure. And overall, Le Male Elixir blew my mind when it came out last year. I was really surprised how well it was and how improved it was from the previous fragrance in the line. Alrighty, everybody. So here is my 6 and then 2 honorable mention of my Holy Grail fragrance on the part 2 of this journey. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below what your Holy Grail fragrances are, your list, or if you only have one Holy Grail fragrance in your collection, share it in the comments with me. I'm eager to hear what your flavors in fragrance for sure, what you all enjoy. So with all that being said, I will see you all on the next one.